Good morning and welcome on our Swiss international flight LX16 from Zurich to New York. I'm Luciano Covolan, the captain on this flight, and I'm now here at the Swiss Operations Center where we start our flight planning. When does a flight start for me? It begins with the monthly roster I receive, where I see that, for instance, I have this LX16 flight on the June of 14th. So I make already my first thoughts about the destination. Then the day before I start thinking about how to manage my physical condition in order to be fit for flight duty, especially on long range, depending on when the flight is starting. Is it starting at the morning, in the afternoon, at the evening? I have to get the correct rest to be fit for duty. Then last night I watched on the system in order to get the first impression of the flight routing and the airports en route. Also, I look at the crew disposition, so to be prepared for who is my co-pilot, who will be my cabin crew. And last but not least, I'm interested in the climate at the destination I'm going to, in order to know what I have to pack for the next few days. So this morning it started 5 o'clock. I stood up and got ready, and now I'm here at the operations center in which I meet my crew. First of all, my first officer. So let's go to meet my colleague in the team.
Ja, sehr gut, danke. Du auch?
Ja, tipptopp.
Lässige Sache.
Freue mich auf den Flug. Ja. Das Wetter ist ja blendend.
Genau.
Okay.
Steht nichts im Weg.
Super.
Ja.
Okay, this is the point we meet as pilots. This is the flight planning room in the Swiss Operations Center. So last night I saw his name on the list, and now I see his face. So then we start now as cockpit crew our flight planning. First of all, we get the first glance on the general meteorological situation, in which we have a Met office here. So let's have a look together. Guten Morgen. Before we start the flight planning at the flight dispatch, because long-range flights are prepared by flight dispatch, we get a first impression on the atmospheric condition we have to expect on our routing. Here, the general meteorological view onto Europe. You see, today we start with a beautiful day. It's a high pressure, no special weather encountering our routing, which will lead us over England and Ireland into the Atlantic. Here we get an impression on the satellite pictures. You see here the eastern part of the US, where we get in over Newfoundland, Nova Scotia into New York. There is a bit of a system here of a low pressure system, causing maybe some winds and a few clouds, but nothing really severe weather around. Also for our destination, it looks nice today. After this first impression, we print out here at the printers the significant weather chart and the wind charts, and then we go up to the dispatch for the flight plan. We are here now at the Swiss flight dispatch. At this place we meet our dispatcher who prepared the flight. Today will be Christopher Knox.
Okay, so here we go with the general information, and this is how they do it. It's a fairly straightforward routing today. no major problems we came up with. Going across on the nat tracks, you're on nat track Delta today, and the scenario going out for the ETOPS is Shannon, Keflavik and Gander. So
Okay.
it's all straightforward.
This is standard planning.
Yeah, no big problems. NOTAM wise, the only one that's note in Gander, runway 0321 is closed.
Okay.
It's not notified it's closed, but when you read the NOTAMs, the runway length is
The
only
interpretation
700.
is-
There's only 700 meters
Okay.
left. Yeah. So for us, it's closed. And in Halifax, runway 0523 is also closed. It's the only NOTAMs which have any effect for you.
0523. That's
So
the main.
That's the longer one, yeah.
That's the longer one.
Yeah, the other one, you still got the 2,300 meter one.
2003. It stops. Should be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, there's no problems.
Okay.
So, that's how it looks. And the details. Here's the plan. So, you've got very good flight time today. You have a block of 7:51 against the 8:45 schedule. So,
Okay.
Nice.
and that's at economy.
Okay.
Already cost index.
Yeah, down at C8.
8.
Eight, yeah. So, 0 fuel weight. Looks good. Takeoff weight, no, shouldn't be any problem. We're not expecting it to be wet today here, so we're at max. So, on to the weathers. So, out of Zurich, again, no problem, it's generally Cavoc. Destination New York, again it's light winds, +6. And then the alternate Newburgh, again, very similar,
Okay.
light winds. Gander, after 1400 it's no problem, it's again light winds, 12 knots, +6. Keflavik is fine. Halifax, it's generally not a problem, light winds, +6. There is a period before you need it where it drops down with some mist to 2 stat miles, and then from 1400 it's picking up again back to +6.
Okay.
And Shannon, it's generally not a problem. It's a little bit windy temporarily between 14 and 16, but
Rather at the end of our.
right at the end of the window, and it's still within limits of the crosswind or the Cat 1. So weather-wise there's no problems. No TAMs we've mentioned,
Okay.
and then the track sheet with the nets, fuel stores, and the route comparison.
Perfect. Very good. So, no slot.
Thank you.
What about connections?
At the moment, no connections, no problems. at all.
Perfect. Chris, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good
Have
trip.
a good day.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
So after receiving the flight documentation from dispatch, we start now our flight planning. A flight for me is like an enterprise. There are many people working on it, many interfaces, many processes. Everybody has his own responsibilities and duties. At the end of the day, when we should start pushback with our aircraft, all the processes have to be terminated. My special responsibility and authority is on the flight operation itself. So my company gives me full authority over the aircraft, the crew, the passengers, and the load. We are now starting our flight planning. We discussed already together who is doing what duty. So for today I will be flying to New York, and Peter Roten will be my assisting pilot. On the way back from New York, Peter will be the flying pilot and I will assist him on his duty. So the flying pilot does the flight planning, so let's get started. As we heard already from the dispatch, it looks like being a quite normal flight, no special weather, no special hazards. So let's start with our routing and the general meteorological conditions. So you see here we start in Zurich, go up to the northwestern part of France, then hit the southwestern tip of England, Land's End, into the Atlantic, having landfall over Newfoundland, more or less over Torbay, St. John's, then continuing via Nova Scotia, Halifax, directly into New York. We compare our routing with the significant weather chart of the 14th of June at 12 UTC. So I will more or less try to copy the routing on this chart. So we see initially over Europe more or less no weather. Then here at the northwestern part of France we have some clouds and embedded sea bees. The region of embedded sea bees is here. So we will maybe just be at the edge of this zone, whereas the other clouds are on lower levels, 190, so we should be above at our cruising altitude. Over the Atlantic then itself, nothing special here. At 40 west we hit a jet stream at flight level 330 with a magnitude of 110 knots with a clear air turbulence area number 2, which means light to moderate. Maybe turbulences just at the edge, so we shouldn't be so much confronted with it. For the rest of the flight, as you can see, nice and beautiful weather. Then here we have the wind chart, which level is planned. So level 370 initially, then 380 for the crossing itself. So we look at the winds at level 390, the 14th of June, 12 UTC.
I've already put the boundary between the polar air and the subtropical air on it because there's quite a big gap in the temperature.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Peter. So from Zurich to Land's End, over to St. John's, Halifax, New York. We see here the wind streams. No much wind initially, just a bit of headwind. Let's compare it on the flight plan. Is that correct?
Yes.
At 40 around, that's good.
The first 4 hours.
Starting the crossing, no big winds here. And then towards 40 west we cross this jet stream.
Gives us some tailwind.
Gives us a little bit of tailwind, which continues the tailwind up to more or less St. John's.
Exactly.
Okay.
And for the rest it's again
a little bit of headwind, but not very much. So the temperature, 45. Here we have a gap of 5 and then again of 9 degrees, so maybe we will feel it at 40 west, a little bit of turbulences.
That's where the jet stream is, exactly.
But then for the rest of the flight it's nice. The lower level 340 looks pretty much the same, just a bit stronger though. So 390 or 380 will be a perfect level. Zurich and Shannon as first ETOPS ETP Shannon. Then we reach the point timeout, which is here at this point, where we get ETOPS. They calculate ETOPS combined, that means engine failure and decompression. Up to here. Then here we have the next ETP between Keflavik and Gander, also ETOPS combined fuel calculation, and then 3-point timeout, we reached again the stops area with the gander itself. Let's just quickly look at the segments. Nothing special, so flight should be an issue. Let's go to the NOTAM. Here just to sum up what dispatch already told us, en route, nothing affecting our routing. Then for the aerodromes we have a gander. The flight is good booked. Huh? We have 3 PADs in the air, business class. Restriction list, no issue. Here we have Udo Schäfer with us on this flight. This is mentioned on our NOTAM. Udo, welcome as well in our team, of course. He will be accompanying us for 2 days and doing all the filming and documentation for this beautiful DVD I hope you will get at the end. So in Zurich itself, everything is well known for me. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
So, dispatch went through, nothing special. We have the newest aircraft in our company. Huh? Just 2 months old. It's like sitting in a new car. It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. So we have the newest software, newest systems, and no constraints here technical. Fuel bias 1000 minus 3.0. So let's check the routing. We have planned North Atlantic track Delta from Limerick to 5320,
Yes.
5330, 5240. So I would say I take a good 20 minutes and I cover a possible go around for non-stabilized approach.
All right.
Okay. Gives a remaining fuel of 6.6. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
I don't expect any major delay. Then we have a burn off of 44.6. 0.4, it's about 15 minutes. That makes 9 hours and 13. Huh?
Thanks, Luciano.
You're welcome. Okay, we'll give now afterwards the fuel figures to dispatch. And now let's go to the crew brief.
All right.
Okay. We are now here at the briefing room for our LX Flight 16. I'm meeting the cabin crew, so we are now complete. Peter and I with 10 colleagues of the cabin crew, so a crew of 12, or are you 9? 10.
10 today.
Okay, 10 today. So I'm right with the number. What we try to do in the crew briefing is to have meet each other, to have a feeling for each other, to try to form a team. We didn't see some of you, I know some of you it's the first time I'm working with. So welcome on this flight. The flight itself looks pretty normal, weather-wise, flight time-wise, and also from the connections. So first of all, the flight time is pretty short with 7 hours and 50 minutes. The flight itself, Peter, just a few details.
The routing will lead us just south of England. We'll pass Ireland. Basically, it's standard routing towards Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, then we'll land straight into York. There is a jet stream. We'll just cross on a 90 degrees angle in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So we might expect some turbulence there. Otherwise, New York reports Has a good weather on the forecast, so for tomorrow I expect temperatures around 23 degrees, just some scattered clouds, so perfect weather for a bike tour. Thank you.
Okay, very nice, thanks. Anything out of your briefing which might be interesting for us?
Up to now, no news, no specials, lots of, well, almost crowded flight,
Okay.
pretty much of business class.
Good.
Importantly.
Otherwise, the cockpit door is always open for you, even if we have a cameraman there. So appreciate an open communication, and of course I count on your capabilities and professionalism to be alert in everything what happens on your side. Just drop it forward so we have time to think and plan. Any impulse from your side? Question?
Not yet. Everything's me.
Okay, Peter?
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we meet at the aircraft.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best.
You? We are now finally at the aircraft after doing our flight planning. So now the preparation process begins. Here our newest aircraft we have in the fleet, which arrived 2 months ago, the Juliet Hotel Lima, with the new logo and the new colors. As I already mentioned, for me as a pilot, it's always a good experience. It's like sitting into a new car. So what I'm doing here is now the outside inspection. I'm not checking. This is done by maintenance, by our maintenance personnel. I'm just trying to get an overall impression of my aircraft from the outside. So let's start the walk around. First of all, I'm just looking at the aircraft itself, so as a general impression, and then I go further into details, looking at the static ports below the fuselage to be clean. Then I check the angle of attack sensor, which gives important information to our flight guidance system. Moving towards the front part and checking the conditions of the pitot tubes, and then having from the front an overall view on the aircraft itself. Just to mention a few figures. Our A330-300 has a length of around 64 meters and a wingspan of around 61 meters. And the width of the main gear is roughly 10-12 meters. So I approach the front wheel, the nose wheel. Pressure looks good, no leaks visible. Continuing towards the right hand part of the fuselage. Static ports are clean. Angle of attacks, standby first officer, pitot tubes. Looking at the wings itself, pretty clean, of course, nice weather, no frost, no ice. Then approaching our high bypass ratio Rolls-Royce Trent engine, looks clean. Then another figure to be mentioned, the distance from the nose wheel to the main gear is approximately 25 meters. So when I'm taxiing with the aircraft, I have to consider to do the turns in a way that my main gear, which is 25 meters behind, doesn't touch anything. So approaching now the main gear itself. The tires look quite new. No cuts, no irregularities noticeable. The brakes are intact. No hydraulic quantity dropping. Everything is nice and clean. Continuing to the other part to get an impression of the left-hand main landing gear. Everything looks nice and clean. Then the rudder itself, stabilizer, elevator. Here we have still the tankering process ongoing. Our colleague is receiving the numbers I inserted into the computer, so he will be tanking the quantity I ordered for this flight. As when he will be ending the process, he will get to me with the paper and figures, and I check that the exact quantity is on board I requested. So I'm ending up my walk around. Getting back to the front part, having a look onto the left-hand engine. New engine, no scratches, everything looks nice and clean. And also the left-hand wing. That's it. So my overall impression is very good, and I'm happy to have this aircraft to New York. So let's start our flight preparation. We are finally in the cockpit. We did the major work of the flight preparation, especially Peter is preparing the cockpit, checking all the systems, programming the flight plan in the flight management system. And now we get to the point where we do the crew at station.
Yes, sir. Crew at stations, aircraft log, cabin log, QRH.
Okay, the aircraft is technically so far okay. Nothing special, no differences in the status comparing to what we already have seen on the NOTAM.
Okay.
Software-wise, we are on the newest level, and the history from the last few flights is clean.
Okay.
So the log is checked.
Thank you.
Then also cabin-wise, the cabin log is checked.
Okay.
Nothing special. And the status of the aircraft, it's an A330-300, newest version. We have just maintenance status, tire pressure, as we discussed and already checked up with maintenance.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what we have in the QRH concerning the OEB procedures. So it's the well-known autoflight in case of loss of autopilot in the A-thrust.
Okay.
And the second procedure concerning navigation, erroneous radio altimeter height indication.
Okay.
On-ground emergency is clear for you
Yes.
so far. I would be looking for a checklist when we get to that on-ground emergency, especially the do items, that you could read the point itself and the action.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't have to think and just can go forward with the steps. Huh?
All right.
Okay. So checked.
Checked. Fuel quantity. Ordered 56.2.
56.2. We have on board 56.4. Distribution, outer tanks full, and in the tail 2,400 kilo. That's correct. You already inserted the fueling data, and we compared the total figure, which corresponds to our quantity indication.
561. That's checked.
Then we inserted 400 kilo taxi and the block fuel.
Okay.
Checked.
Checked. Altimeter 1019er.
1019er, I have a reading of 1380.
1380 on the standby. We have 1380.
Check.
Checked. Parking brake.
Park brake on. Pressure and temperatures within limits.
FMGS.
I checked already the routing. You inserted in Zurich a departure on runway 16 and in JFK an arrival of 04 right. We'll see if it changes anything. Huh?
Okay.
I checked the points. The distance is 3495
versus 3531.
Okay. We have a fuel on board of 10 tons. In JFK, including traditional fuel we took for the VIP movement we have to expect. Huh?
Okay, looking good.
So that's checked, set. On the navigation, you selected manually Cloten on VOR1. Huh? Thank you.
Okay, that's checked and set. 8 years.
We have 3 times the nav status, reading position of north 4727.7, east 00833.2.
That's Zurich.
Also on IRS2 and IRS3. Then we have deviation of the 3 IRSs within limits, 0 even. And on the progress page we see GPS primary. That's checked.
Checked. EFIS FCU.
Set. Constraints 5000. Set.
Set. Cruisations completed.
Okay, now we are 10 minutes before off-block time. That means that the processes now around the aircraft come to a conclusion. Boarding still ongoing. Loading process as well. Fueling is completed. So I'm now going to meet some interfaces to see if there is any problem to be expected delaying our departure. I don't think so yet. So I get up now and go towards the cabin to see that everything is going on as it should. Okay, you stay here and be ready for any calls coming from outside.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
What we could do maybe, just to have it done already, we could ask for the clearance.
Okay.
So we could take it both of us.
Yes.
And then we have it.
Delivery good to talk, Swiss 16 Heavy Airbus 333 on gate Echo 53. Information Whiskey unable to wait. And we'll be ready according schedule in 8 minutes.
Swiss 16, delivery gate to runway 16, clear to JFK via VB2 Sierra departure, squawk 3030.
Swiss 16, off runway 16, clear to JFK, VB2 Sierra departure, squawk 3030.
Report when ready.
Will go, Swiss 16.
Okay.
Are you checking the charts? And I'm cross-checking the flight management system.
Roger. VB2 Sierra, when instructed, contact Zurich departure on 125.95.
Check.
Climb gradient is 6.4% up to 2,200 feet.
Okay.
Then 2 ball notes, which we can disregard with that aircraft. We have a VMC departure.
Yes.
Off runway 16, left turn with a max speed of 210 as soon as possible, but not before DME1 from Cloten. Maintain visual ground contact to 2,800 feet. Intercept radial 055 from Willisau, inbound to Brego. Zulu Hotel 554, Zulu Hotel 558 and Webit. Initial climb 5,000 feet. And we have altitude constraints. Radial 360 from Cloten, minimum 4,000. Brego minimum 5, 554 is minimum 6, and 558 minimum 7,000.
Perfect. This corresponds to the programmed routing in our navigation system.
Okay.
So for me, the clearance is verified. We have an additional constraint in here at DME Cloten or 2,000 feet before starting the left turn. Huh? That's correct. Checked and verified.
We have now 3 minutes to go until the pushback, and I will go ahead now and start the APU in order to be ready at the correct time for the external power disconnect. And we have here the APU page now. Initially it takes a while until the air intake flap on the tail of the aircraft is open, and we can see now the indication for the rules per minute of the internal engine within the APU start to increase, presently around 40%. And on the lower part we can see the EGT. So basically it's our fifth engine. It works like every, or our third engine to be precise. It works like the two engines we have mounted underneath our wings. As soon as the percentage is at 100%, we get the APU available information now, and I can, on the upper panel, disconnect the external power. And on the outside I can already see a ground mechanic, which is going to disconnect the ground power unit on the below the aircraft. So we are from now on autonomously operating power-wise. I will also connect the APU bleed air, which is now the source, the air source, which is feeding the air in the cabin and in the cockpit.
So we are approaching our departure time. Let's do a general briefing shortly, huh?
Okay.
Peter? It's very important for me that we have a low intervention level. So please come forward with anything you think might be from interest, huh?
Okay.
Okay, don't hesitate.
Yes, sir.
For today's takeoff, the weather is very nice. We are not at the structural limits. We are not at the performance limits.
Okay.
Nevertheless, the weight will be around 222. We just received the load sheet here, which confirms even 223, huh?
Yes.
With a max landing weight of 187, that makes roughly an overweight of 36 tons. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. So for the takeoff itself, with this weight today, in case of abortion, I plan to set full reverse.
Okay.
And I count on your observation on my duty that I'm doing everything correctly until a standstill. Huh?
Roger.
After the standstill and brake set, you communicate with the tower and I do the cabin call.
Okay.
After takeoff, if there is anything abnormal, the gear up is very important for the performance. Then both of us will be flying and checking that aerodynamically the aircraft will be stabilized in the air. And then we navigate and communicate as we're used to. Huh?
Okay.
Okay, on your legs, you're doing everything like use of lights, seatbelts, PAs.
Yes, please.
It's done. Huh? Anything special from your side, Peter?
Nothing so far to mention. Thank you very much.
Looking forward for our mission.
Yes, myself as
Good.
well.
Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren, es spricht der Captain, mein Name ist Luciano Covolan. Im Namen der gesamten Besatzung freue ich mich, Sie an Bord willkommen zu heißen, unserer brandneuen A330-300 nach New York. Wir waren eigentlich soweit bereit, wurden aber soeben informiert, dass leider 2 Passagiere in Zürich bleiben müssen wegen Immigration. Somit wird im Moment deren Gepäck gesucht. Das wird noch ein paar Minuten in Anspruch nehmen. Ich bedanke mich vorerst für Ihr Verständnis und Ihre Geduld. Ich werde Sie auf dem Laufenden halten. Mit der relativ kurzen Flugzeit heute werden wir dennoch in der Lage sein, pünktlich in New York zu landen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking. My name is Luciano Covolan. On behalf of the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you on board this brand new A330-300 bound to New York. We are ready so far but I've just been informed that 2 passengers cannot fly with us due to immigration problems, so they disembarked again, and now we are in the process of searching their baggages for security reasons. This will take another few minutes. For the time being, thank you very much for your patience and understanding. I will keep informed. Nevertheless, with our short flight time today, we will be able to land in New York nicely on schedule. Bonjour mesdames, bonjour messieurs, c'est le commandant de bord qui vous parle. Soyez les bienvenus. Donc, comme déjà annoncé, il faut nous patienter encore quelques minutes avant de terminer notre chargement. Je vous remercie de votre compréhension. Quand même, nous serons capables d'atterrir à New York à l'heure prévue. Je vous tiendrai au courant. Let's do the takeoff briefing as we have a short break before they find the baggages.
Okay.
Good. Our actual takeoff weight is 223, let's say, 223. Aircraft is technically fine. It's an A330-300.
Yes, sir.
With this weight, we have a decision speed V1 of 154. In case of abortion, I give full reverse, good observation from your side until standstill.
Roger.
If we continue, the rotation speed will be 156 and the minimum climb out speed 159. We follow the engine failure climb out procedure here in Zurich, which means initially on runway 16 straight ahead up to 2.4 DME Cloten, then track correction to 137 until 4.8 DME, and then we make a turn to the left towards the airfield with maximum 15 degrees bank and a max speed of 185.
Roger.
The cleanup on reverse course towards Cloten VOR at minimum 3,000 feet.
Okay.
And climbing further up to 6,000 would be good, as the minimum sector in the northwest is 5.3.
Aye, firm.
Initially cleared 5,000.
Okay.
We are overweight, as already mentioned, around 36 tons. So we need some time to reduce our weight before we can come back. In case of a top emergency, like undistinguishable engine fire, for instance, we might be considering, when starting the left turn, to pick up a heading to a downwind, to a left-hand downwind,
Okay.
runway 16, with ATC assistance, climbing up to 4,000, extending the downwind leg so far that we feel ready to do the approach.
Okay.
And I also consider a partial flap setting of flaps 2 with a speed around of 180.
I agree on that.
Okay. Any questions?
Negative, thank you very much.
Takeoff briefing completed. Ground cockpit.
Lause.
How does it look like?
They found until now 4 pieces, and just the last one came down at this moment. So they're going to close in less than a minute, and if it's possible, I'm going to lift you up.
Go ahead. Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Okay, a minute. So, I arm the slides.
Roger.
Cabin crew, yellow door selectors armed.
Guten Morgen, Swiss 16.
Swiss 16, pushback and startup approved.
Danke vielmals. Pushback start approved, Swiss 16.
Complete checklist.
Checklist completed, ready for push and engine start.
Ground cockpit. Okay, now we will be ready. Brakes are still set.
Okay, you can release the parking brakes, please.
Park brake released, ready for pushback.
And as soon as we move, you can start the engine.
Roger.
Thank you.
62.
Okay, delay reason is PAX, you agree?
Say again?
Delay reason is PAX.
Yeah.
So station report is sent.
Thank you. I have ComWise 1215 on set number 2, and 123.1 is ready for Florian, just in case.
Thank you. So you may start engines, huh?
Roger. So all we need is the ignition switch on position ignition. We wait until the FADEC has powered up so we can see all the indications on the engine display, and I will start the sequence with engine number 1. I switch on the engine master switch and start a time check just in case we need to do a restart. First indication we have is of course the bleed valve, which is on the on indication now, and we see the N3, which is the inner the inner turbine, which is starting to work, powered by the APU bleed. For the time being, we have a short stop around 30%. Then the fuel valve opens the fuel flow, and then the entire ignition process has been started. So we can see the outer turbine N1 starting to increase as well. The EGT, which is a good indication for the entire burning process as well, is on a stable value of around 300 degrees. Engine 1 is online, so I go ahead and start engine number 2. Engine number 1 showed the avail sign on the engine display, so everything is okay. And we repeat the process for engine number 2.
You can set the brakes, please.
Brake set.
We have N3
Brake
running
set,
up. Fuel flow indicated at around 30% N3. And in a while we can see the EGT starting to rise. And shortly afterwards it's usually N1 following. The entire process is automatically controlled. So even in case of a hung start or a overheat, the FADEC will automatically stop the ignition process and do an automatic restart. For today, everything looks normal. So we have as well a avail indication on the engine number 2. And if I look on the engine display, we have all the values which are within limits and which are the same on both sides. So this is a double cross check for me, showing that everything is okay, and I go ahead and say to the captain, engines stabilized.
Ground cockpit.
Yes, go ahead.
Everything is fine, you may remove equipment, thank you and have a good day.
Okay, you will see me with the pin on your left-hand side. I wish you a nice day and have a good flight. Bye-bye, see you next time.
Bye-bye. After engine start, flaps 2.
Roger. So we armed the speed brakes, I reset the rudder trim, then I set the flaps to the according position, which is to flaps 2 today. I verify the automatic pitch trim setting, which should be at 27.5 or 4 nose up. I adjust it manually to the correct position, and I arm the auto brake. Then we can start with the checklist, which is called after engine start pushback, anti-ice.
Not required.
Off rudder and pitch trim.
0 and set.
Set. Flight controls. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
So this is a very important check we have to do. The flight controls. Just go to the full flight control position, and Peter is calling out
full left
indication. So we have a cross check between our pilots, us as pilots, and we pilot
Full
the
right.
system.
Neutral. Now I'm just silently checking the flight controls in correspondence with the side stick inputs I give on the right side as a pilot not flying. And then I say the flight controls are checked. Takeoff memo.
All green.
All green. And ECAM status. Checked. Before taxi.
Continue.
All clear signal.
Is received.
Received. Ready for taxi.
Taxi clearance.
Roger.
Swiss 16, request taxi.
Swiss 16, taxi via Delta and Echo to holding point runway 16.
Taxi via Delta, Echo holding point runway 16, Swiss 16.
Right side is clear.
Left as well. Let's go.
Open, hello, Airline 8225 Hotel 2.
Now we're moving on drone power. As a commander, I'm fully responsible for the safety of the aircraft, the crew, and the passenger and the load. Brake check.
Pressure 0.
Before takeoff.
Roger. In the meantime, I have checked the both radar systems are okay. Weather here is fine, but we never know what we will meet on the route to New York, so we need to have both radar systems.
I will take the terrain on my side. Huh?
I do so as well.
We need another 5 minutes.
Okay, cabin
okay.
galley nevertheless secured. I'll pause on the screen any moment. Thank you.
Thanks, Nico. Echo is the second from here.
Second right, eh? That's good.
Okay, we have a cabin ready indication.
Check.
And ATC clearance.
What did you write on your board?
It's runway 16, VB20 departure.
VB2 Sierra is in the system with 5,000 feet and a squawk of 3030. We already discussed the clearance, verified.
Verified. Takeoff briefing.
No changes, weather is fine, runway is dry, 223 tons, abortion as discussed, V1 54, V2 59, 3,000, 6,000, completed.
3 and 6, that's completed. Flaps, takeoff data.
Flaps 2, runway 16, flex 41. 5459, temperature. Recheck.
Rechecked.
Target A, Swiss 16 Heavy is on the way to holding point runway 16 and ready for departure.
Roger, Swiss 16, tower hello, line up and wait runway 16, departure in 3 minutes.
Line up and wait runway 16, Swiss 16.
Line up and wait 16. Are you ready to take over?
Yes, sir.
Your controls?
My controls.
I'm with the passengers.
4 Kilo Charlie, contact apron 12 on decimal 850, tschüss.
Meine Damen und Herren, nochmals der Captain.
Fraction 879er Golf, wind 340 degrees 5.
Wir nähern uns allmählich der Startpiste 16. Wir werden also in Richtung Süden starten. Nach dem Start dann eine Linkskurve über den Platz einleiten. Ich erwarte die Freigabe in den nächsten Minuten. Wie gesagt, werden wir noch vor der flugplanmäßigen Zeit in New York landen. Ich hoffe, Sie fühlen sich wohl an Bord mit uns. Mit mir im Cockpit mein Kollege Peter Rothen. Die gesamte Besatzung wünscht eine angenehme Reise. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain, we are now gradually approaching our departure runway 16, so takeoff towards the south. After takeoff, we will initiate a left turn over the airfield. I expect the clearance within the next few minutes. As already mentioned, we will be arriving in New York slightly ahead of schedule. With me, the flight deck first officer Peter Roten. The entire crew wishes a comfortable journey. Mesdames et messieurs, le commandant donc débarque dans quelques minutes. Nous allons atterrir à l'heure prévue et nous vous souhaitons un vol agréable.
Yeah, good morning, this is Jet 643, established ILS 14.
Hello, this is Jet 643 Tower.
Okay, cabin is ready.
Check.
All the checklist completed. We have the lineup clearance. I'm ready to take over.
Roger, go ahead.
Controls.
Your controls.
Complete checklist.
Correct, this is Jet 643, wind check.
Yes.
Tailwind 300 degrees 7 knots. I call you back shortly.
Roger.
Approach sector looks clear. I'm lining up.
Fuel is checked.
Swiss 16, just to confirm you're ready. Departure planned in a minute.
Yes.
I firm, Swiss 16.
Roger.
Okay. ECA memo.
Swiss
Check.
110 November, contact apron, 1
Check.
on decimal 850.
Pack 1 and 2.
850, 110 November.
Off.
Vista Jet 643.
Off.
Is confirmed.
Hotel is about to
The runway 16 is verified.
6 knots.
Cabin.
For Netherlands.
Clear to land 1.
Cabin is ready?
Ready for departure.
Okay.
Approach is free.
We are obstacle limited on our takeoff today. So this is the point as a captain where I start to do the silent review of my takeoff and the limitations in order to be ready if anything happens.
On runway 16.
Runway 16.
Identified. Heading is cross-checked.
Checked on the right.
Swiss 16, wind 310 degrees, 3 knots, runway 16, clear for takeoff.
Runway 16, clear for takeoff, Swiss 16.
Peter?
Ready?
Okay, ready?
Let's go.
Cleared for takeoff. Wind is rechecked. Time and fuel.
Check.
Takeoff.
Tower again, Swiss 110 November.
Swiss 110 November, tower on taxiway Juliet, cross runway 28, contact apron, Janet Arc.
On Juliet, cross runway 28 at apron. Schönen Dank, danke, Swiss 110 November.
Merci.
Takeoff thrust set.
Checked. Check.
Vista Jet 643, contact apron 121 decimal 850, bye-bye.
V1.
Rotate.
City Tower Grid, CFA 311 and Double Silence, runway 14.
Helvetic
Clear up.
Available, wind 290 degrees 7 knots, runway 14, clear to land.
Runway 14, clear to land, Helvetic 311.
1 miles, 2,000 feet, turning left.
And left side is clear.
Swiss 16, contact departure, request the flow bottom on.
On there, Swiss 16, shut it down.
First climb.
Checked.
Departure today, Swiss 16 Heavy's out of 3,400 feet, climbing 5,000.
Border Swiss 16 Heavy out of device, climb to flight level 90.
Did you climb flight level 90, Swiss 16. 9,000.
90 check. So the flight director doesn't follow our flight, huh? For the time being. Insert a direct Cloten, please. Navigation. Cloten is checked. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Check. Select speed 250.
Speed 250.
Swiss 16, proceed direct Morocco, climb to flight level 120.
Direct Morocco and climb flight level 120, Swiss 16, okay.
Flaps 0.
Flaps 0.
Check. Insert direct Morocco.
Roger.
Engage autopilot 1.
Swiss 16, climb now radar 135.675.
135.675, Swiss 16. Merci, Ade. Autopilot 1.
Check. And standard UNH 7 now.
Same reading. Radar, go to dark, Swiss 16 heavy, passing level 84, climbing flight level 120, direct Morocco.
Swiss 16, good morning, identified, climb to flight level 240.
Climb flight level 240, Swiss 16.
Start focus.
Flight level 240,
check.
Level 130.
Aircraft is clean.
At the level 130,
Speed
Takeoff
250,
201.
coming out of 10,000 feet. Weather looks fine, huh? Perfect, huh? It's beautiful, huh? After the
weather of the last days.
rainy days of the...
Yeah.
So that's always like that when angels fly. Yeah?
Exactly. Bin ich rot im Papier?
In the meantime, we are reaching our cruising flight level of 350. That means 35,000 feet. Let me shortly explain our departure. We have been flown out of Zurich. We took off on runway 16 on a Webit departure. That means after takeoff at 1 nautical miles after the Cloten VOR, we started our left turn to overhead the airport, at which point we had to be above 4,000 feet. Then we proceeded to the point Brego with an altitude constraint of minimum 5,000. Then the point Zurich 554 at minimum 6,000 and to Webit and then on course. The layout of Zurich consists of 3 runways. We took off on runway 16, which is the main departure runway for heavy aircrafts, whereas the runway 28 is the main departure runway for medium aircraft. We were parked at the position Echo 53, which is here, and we taxied via Delta and Echo towards our holding position. The traffic situation was quite easy today, so the flights which depart at the main time, for instance to Bombay, they were already gone. So you have been seeing during taxi out that we were number one for lineup. Even for our takeoff, we didn't have any delay. The engine out, climb out procedure we discussed in the takeoff briefing. We would have been flying in case of an engine failure, which is basically initially the same as the normal SID towards the airfield and then preparing for an approach into Zurich. As already mentioned today, our takeoff calculation were limited by obstacles. This is a good information for us to know where the limiting factors are in order before takeoff to be mentally prepared in case of an engine failure where our performance resources and limitations are. Let's talk about the North Atlantic crossing.
Okay.
We reached the point where we have to send a clearance request. Now, what is planned on the flight plan as a cruising level for the crossing?
So, ATC-wise, filed has been after Lemry, or respectively for the track delta. It's flight level 380 and speed 0.8.
Okay.
And
so comparing to the planning stage, we are quite heavier now, about 6 tons, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So for the crossing, we expect a weight of, let's say, Limri, 46, 48,
Limeri's 39.
39. We are now 49, 10 tons less. So it's about a weight of below 210 tons, huh?
Yes.
In the flight crew operating manual, 210 tons, we find an optimum level of 360. It's not exactly the same calculation as our flight management system does, because here it considers the cost index. Huh?
Okay.
But I would say that 380 is too high for initial level. You agree?
Yeah. We can have a look at what the at what point the optimum level is calculated by the FMS.
Okay. (1806).
So it's 1806. That's
1301.
Exactly. In the 1,800 miles.
So it's pretty late, huh? So I would suggest that we ask for initially flight level 360.
I agree.
You agree?
Yes.
And with a cost index of 8, I would request Mach 0.81.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And how about the maximum? We could accept
370 as it shows already now a recommended max of 379.
Roger.
So Shanwick has a bit of a flexibility. So let's see the inputs.
I will have to.
Alex 16 to Shanwick, Limri at 10:44. That's correct. Flight level 360, Mach 0.81 with maximum flight level 370. Are we ready to send it already, or are we too early?
I have an estimate Limri, which is our Oceanic entry point at 1044. So we have to wait another 5 minutes in order to be within the 90 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are now ready for the clearance request for our North Atlantic crossing.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Peter.
The estimate for Limbury has not changed in the meantime, so it's still at 1044.
Check.
Which is in roughly 90 minutes. So we can go ahead and file it.
Go.
We put it up on our display and confirm our entries.
Entry point Limbury as discussed, 1044, Mach 0.81, 360, Max 37.
So I will go ahead and press the magic button.
Sent.
It's already on the way, and the automatic reception message is instantaneously sent.
Good. If no clearance within
15 minutes, revert to voice.
15 minutes, I make a time check of 15 minutes, huh?
And I will as well.
You put a time marker, perfect.
Put a time marker on the FMS.
So usually with Shanwick, the clearance is coming very quickly. I suggest that in a minute we get the feedback.
Okay.
In earlier days, of course, we had to do a clearance request by voice. Nowadays we have data link in which we can send requests via data in written form and also receive the clearance in written form, which is very practical for our work. This is already implemented with Shanwick and Gander as well.
Exactly.
Now it takes a little bit longer than usual, but it should be coming any seconds. In the meantime, we have been overflying the region of Paris. Peter, we tried to remain in the loop in case of, especially two cases, which requests immediate actions and which are in the first few minutes rather stressful, like decompression and smoke or fire.
Exactly.
So for these two cases we will be very busy, so I try to keep you updated on the airport. I would be considering dynamically during our flights.
Okay.
Okay. For time being, it is Paris. I usually set my preference on the progress page, so you know what I'm having in mind.
Okay.
And it's important that we as crew have the same mindset.
Yes.
I listened to the Addis, runway 09 left in use. The weather is fine.
Good.
I will keep you updated. In the equitime point function, I have the Zurich and Shannon inserted. We already overflew the first ETP, so I take now Shannon and Keflavik.
Roger.
So here we insert our strategical planning as we had it on the flight planning process.
Okay.
Flight Center, Mr. 1, bonjour, reaching level 340, needing 280.
Club 360 is goed, compromis 76 2
Yeah.
Mac number. Passing to Lizard, request 360, Mr. 1. What's the Mac number? Sorry, Mac 0.79.
Okay.
Finally, we received our Atlantic clearance. Oceanic clearance number 979 at 9:22 Zulu at 14th of June from Shanwick, cleared to New York via Limbury. I suggest we cross-check already the flight plan.
Okay. It's via Limbury. Then
okay, let me slow down. Stand by. Go ahead. Limerick.
Track Delta. Limerick 53 north 20 west.
That's checked.
53 north 30 west.
Checked.
52 north 40 west.
Checked.
49 north 50 west.
Checked.
And Loxu Vixen.
Loxu Vixen. Okay.
From Limerick at 1044 Z. Maintain level 360 Mach 0.81.
Okay. So I fixed a constant Mach from Limerick 0.81. And the end point is
Vixen.
Vixen. 81 from Limerick to Vixen.
Checked.
Is inserted. So the clearance corresponds to our planning, so we can acknowledge.
And we have already received confirmation.
Checked. Perfectly. We got what we asked for. And 360 is a good level for the crossing. It's 1,000 feet higher than optimum at the moment, but until Rimley it should be perfectly the optimum level.
Exactly.
Okay. So I closed the last page.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Andreas. I'm one of the two first-class galley flight attendants on this flight. And in a few moments we start to serve first course to our first-class customers. Currently on our summer menu we feature specialities created by the chef Alexander Kroll from the hotel and restaurant Widder in Zurich. We have barlic salmon, a selection of dried meat from the Zurich area, a crayfish cocktail, and guacamole and melon mousse on pumpernickel. Later on we will have some salad as well as a chilled gazpacho soup, and then followed by the main course. After that we have a nice cheese selection with cheeses from the Zurich Oberland, and at the end some nice desserts and Sprüngli praline. I wish you a very bon appetit. Now one of our main courses today is spaghettini with a monkfish and a very nice garnish. Today's poultry dish is a chicken with potatoes and kohlrabi with sweet pea puree. One of our signature dishes is the hash brown potatoes with sliced veal. It's the Zurich Schnetzelte. One of our special dishes today is the veal sausage from the famous Sternengrill on the Zurich Bellevue, served with a traditional burle and extra hot mustard. After our main course, we move on to our famous cheese selection. Beside the traditional Gruyere cheese, we have some more cheese from the Zurich Oberland, which is currently the canton featured in our menu, including a sheep milk cheese. Then we garnish this with some dried fruits, some walnuts, and a mustard fruit puree, and the traditional Swiss pear and nut bread, together with some fruits and a nice 20-year-old port. Now I have our two desserts for today. One is a chocolate passion fruit cake with peppered strawberries and a chocolate garnish. And the other one is a amarena mousse with a meringue topping with cherries and caramelized hazelnuts and cherry ice shaving. Now, if you would be interested in working in an environment like this, there is always a possibility to start as a Swiss flight attendant, and then over the years and with seniority you can move all the way up to first class and prepare and serve our customers up front here.
In the meantime, we are reaching the Shanwick Oceanic area. We just passed the point Limerick, which is the entry point into the Oceanic area, and Peter will get in contact now with the Oceanic frequency and will receive the HF assignments.
Shanwick, good days. We're CPDLC Ganders next, and so call is Golf Sierra Kilo Quebec.
Okay, standby 16.
Standing by, Swiss 16.
Okay, Swiss 16, Shamrock CPDLC, we're Gander next. Terminal 5649er. Backup is 6622. At 30 West, call Gander on 11336. Backup 8831.
Roger. Swiss 16, primary 5649er, secondary 6622. After 30 West, it's 11336 and backup 8831.
That's correct, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I copied the frequency on the scratch pad as well.
Merci.
With Shanwick to Shamrock 105 for HF.
And we have active ADCs, or we are on CPDLC now.
Okay. Primary 5649, backup 6622.
Okay.
At 30.
I see 5649 on HF1.
Yeah, let me... So, I put the two frequencies up on the set number 1 and 2. So, and I already prepare the frequencies for Gander after 30 West.
So you put the secondary on HF2, is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
And primary is now 5649er, on which I will try to get a cell call check from the Shanwick HF controller.
105 for cell call on 56.
Shamrock 105, Shamrock CPDLC, going next, Transport Golf, Kilo Romeo, stand by.
Cell call check, Shamrock 105, thanks.
Roger, Shamrock.
Good day, Swiss 16 Heavy. We're CPDLC Gander next, and cell call Golf Sierra, Kilo Quebec. Cell call okay, Swiss 16.
Roger, Shamrock.
Shanwick, good morning, Arc Flight 365.
Okay, we are in contact.
Charlie, Romeo, Bravo, Echo.
So,
cell call check done. Will you stay on ADC frequency?
Standby short, 8831. So we have 8831 standby on set number 2, and 11336 is already prepared for the next sector.
Perfect.
And we can already set now 12345 and 121.5.
It's good.
All right, so I suggest...
12345 on VHF1 then. Let's check.
Roger. Standard call.
And 1215 on VHF2.
That's all set.
Okay, and then
we can also set a time marker
for the transponder, huh?
for the 30 minutes transponder
Yes.
reminder.
Yes.
Let's say at 1120 Zulu.
Perfect. Everything is done. Did you cross-check all the points again with the clearance?
I did.
So,
Mileage and tracking is okay.
very good.
And let's have a look at the offset situation here. Everybody's flying one right, probably.
Yeah, looks like,
Except the one, yeah. But one behind and the two guys in front, they both fly offset one right.
Shall we fly as well one right? Or shall we stay in the center line?
Personally, I'd prefer two right instead of remaining on the center line.
Okay.
And wind-wise, I think, yeah,
Sounds reasonable. So two right?
Perfect. I think we're not going to encounter any
wake vortex?
Any wake turbulence from the preceding aircraft.
Okay. Navigation offset two right.
Checked.
Everything's done.
We're good to go. Weather is
That's
fine.
it.
And also the technical status.
Good. And we rechecked all the ETOPS alternates like Shannon, Keflavik and Gander. The weather is pretty nice.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's
start the crossing. Okay, we are now flying, as you can see on the nav display, we are now flying 2 miles right of track. This is the so-called SLOP procedure, standard offset, which is recommended by ICAO in order to have a certain separation en route. As we know, the navigation systems nowadays are working so precisely that all the aircrafts flying on the same routing are exactly on the same line. So in order to increase flight safety over so-called remote areas or over areas with difficult communication environment, we follow the suggestion and do principally fly offset in order to not be on center line in case somebody would take the same flight level as we do. So we use this procedure basically over Atlantic areas and also over remote areas where no radar contact is available or with difficult communication procedures. The second point, we put a time constraint at 11:20. That means that according to North Atlantic procedures, we switch the transponder, which we have selected upon departure in Zurich, to code 2000, 30 minutes into the Atlantic. That's the reason of that marker, not to forget to do this switching. In the meantime, we are in the middle of the Atlantic. We reached a position 53 north, 030 west. So the 30 west longitude is for us like the middle of the water, and the switch over as well from Shanwick Oceanic control to Gander Oceanic control. We just have overflown the waypoint, and Peter is trying to get in contact with
Gander.
Gander, ready to second the call sign. Shamrock 105, CPDLC, track Delta. Shamrock 105, Gander confirmed CPDLC, track Delta, exit of Lot 2.
Basically, we call Gander again on the HF frequencies they gave us already, and confirmed that we are CPDLC ADS connected.
105, roger, and the South Pole check. Thank you.
Gander, good afternoon. The Swiss 16 calling Gander on 113.
Dave calling Gander, ready to second the call sign.
Swiss 16 or CPDLC track Delta. Exit points Loxu, then Vixen, and cell call Golf Sierra Kilo Quebec.
Swiss 16, copy CPDLC track Delta, Loxu Vixen, maintain cell call watch with Gander radio on this frequency. You should receive your VHF via CPDLC. There's your cell call.
Call okay, Swiss 16, thank you.
Gander.
Okay, so CPDLC is confirmed and cell call is okay. So we can switch off the HF frequency again. Mid-Atlantic, that means, as we discussed already in the flight preparation, we are now in the so-called ETOPS area. That means in an extended operation area. Basically, we usually try to plan the flights in having airports available within 60 minutes flight time, which gives this 410 nautical miles circles. Over the Atlantic, of course, this is not possible, so 410 miles out of Shannon, we started our ETOPS operation. In the meantime, we reached 30 West, which is here, and we are just in between the two waypoints, respectively the two equal time points, soon reaching the equal time point between Keflavik and Gander. You can see the equal time point here. We programmed it and inserted it to have a pictorial display. What does it mean for us? It starts already in the pre-flight planning. As we looked at our analysis page, we saw that we will be reaching the point timeout 410 miles after Shannon and get ETOPS. ETOPS means pre-flight, especially somewhat higher conditions or procedure or policies concerning weather requirements and also concerning operation requirements, and last but not least the so-called critical fuel scenario. What does it mean? The regulator tells us that as soon as we are leaving the stops area, we have to fulfill some restrictive requirements like a fuel calculation, which will be done from the ETP to the ETOPS alternate, considering various contingencies like decompression and engine failure. So that means we have to do a calculation, or the system does a calculation at the ETP, how much fuel we would need in case of a combined decompression with an engine failure to reach either, for instance, in this example, Shannon or Keflavik. On top of it, the regulator gives us requirements concerning additional fuel on top of this pure burn
That means in the ETOPS case that we have to calculate with a fan reserve fuel at the ETOPS alternate. We have to consider the use of APU for the diversion time needed. Then we have considered the use of ice protection and ice accretion. Last but not least, including a contingency fuel. So you see that pre-flight, the critical fuel scenario of an ETOPS alternate is pretty much higher than we are used to do it in a STOPS environment, where we have just to consider the burn plus a 15 minutes holding, and this is the same or similar to the ETOPS requirement, extended range operation on the A340, that means on 3 and 4 engine aircraft. On top of it, for the ETOPS alternates, the weather requirements are quite more restrictive than for the STOPS and ETOPS alternates. So pre-flight, we have to consider all these additional restrictions in order to be able to plan the flight legally. What the system does afterwards is it compares the minimum for the critical fuel scenario with the remaining fuel on board at this point. And as long as the fuel scenario of the ETOPS requirement is lower than the fuel on board, it doesn't need any additional correction. Should it be the case that this minimum figure is higher than the fuel on board, this will create a so-called additional fuel. Usually dispatch is trying to make a flight planning in order not to generate additional fuel. In flight, in the ETOPS case, we have two scenarios. So after departure, we still have to fulfill the critical fuel scenario, whereas the weather requirements are downscaled to just the one engine out in operative minimum. And as soon as we reach our point timeout, as we have already done now, as we are in the middle of the ETOPS area, no additional requirements from the regulator has to be considered. So the main difference between operationally, from the operational point of view, between a 3 and 4 engine aircraft and the 2 engine aircraft is especially in these remote areas the difference between ETOPS and ETOPS, which needs to fulfill different requirements. Of course, ETOPS is less restrictive, as the redundancy of the aircraft having 4 engine is much higher than the redundancy of a 2 engine aircraft, in case of an engine failure, of course. Within Swiss, we operate both types, 330s and 340s, and fly this aircraft in a so-called mixed fleet flying concept. That means the pilots are doing a transition first onto the A330, and after a certain consolidation phase, they do the transition onto the 340s, and then they fly both types in a mixed operation. This gives some synergies for the planning and also some flexibility for the company. The main difference between the two types, as already mentioned, the number of engines, 340 with 4 engine, 330 with 2 engine. Then especially difference in the structural weights. So the 340s are certified with takeoff weight, a maximum takeoff weight for our aircraft of 275 tons, whereas the 330-300 is certified with a max takeoff weight of 233 tons. Now you see that this higher takeoff weight allows the 340 to do longer flights, to have more endurance before reducing the payloads than on the 330s. Basically, the company decides what aircraft they need best for a sector which have to be flown. So the 330 is tailored, let's put it like this, to fly to destinations within, I would say, more or less 10 hours flight time. So like a range up to Chicago or Bombay, without reducing the payload, whereas the 340 is more tailored to fly destinations of 12, 13 hours flight time. That means the extended long-range destinations like Hong Kong, Los Angeles, Sao Paulo, Johannesburg, and so on. Technically, the difference are, of course, in a way that we as a pilot, we have to try to remain recent on both aircraft types. Airbus tries with its mixed fleet flying concept to keep the main interfaces as similar as possible, so it's the same side stick with more or less the same feeling when flying manually. It's the same glass cockpit layout, same system layout as far as the layout concerns. Of course, in the architecture of the different system, when you make an in-deep analysis, there are major differences which needs to be remembered and kept up in the knowledge of the pilot operating the two aircraft. So, for instance, in the recurrent training, we do our simulator checks and refresher every 6 months, once on one aircraft and the other ones on the other aircraft, to have the possibility to keep up our proficiency. The other point which is of course also very attractive for us pilots is that in flying the mixed fleet, both aircraft, on long range especially, we have the entire long range network of our company in our rosters, which is interesting and keeps the work varied and sexy, when I want to say like this. Peter, do you have to add, or would you like to add some aspects from your side concerning mixed fleet flying?
Not that I can think of anything additional to say. I have not been qualified as a cruise relief pilot yet, but I have reached now the mandatory time of 24 months on the right-hand seat of the Airbus 340. So I guess that in a couple of weeks I will get the invitation for the course, the 2 days course, which will finally reward us with the CRP, so the Cruise Relief Pilots Qualification, and the course I think includes a lot of classroom work and an intense simulator session. Already now, up to now, I have flown, let's say, up to 60-70% on the A340 and a lot less on the A330 in the past months. And as soon as I will be additionally qualified as cruise relief pilot, which is obviously not necessary on the A330s because on our network we fly them, as you have mentioned, on the shorter sectors. That will mean that I will fly, let's say, probably 8 or 9 flights out of 10 will be flown on the A340 for me, which I personally prefer because the turner routes we do on the A340 fleets, they just suit me more. From a layover perspective, we usually have 2 overnight stays and not just 24-hour stays. So I'm looking forward to that. But of course I also love to fly the 330, and as you have said, it's the mixture of both, flying both aircraft with one license that just makes it more interesting. So I also prefer having a balanced mix, but we'll see what the next months will bring.
Okay. Just a few words to the cruise relief pilots, which is used when the crew is augmented. That means when we are doing flights with a long duty time, or more than, let's say, 12 hours. We are 3 pilots in the cockpit, so I am flying with 2 first officers, and in the middle of the duty, when I will have my rest, one of the 2 first officers will take over the cruise captaincy. That's a so-called cruise relief pilot. And in order to be able to do this, and to have the proficiency to do this, he has to have a certain hours of training and experience. And as Peter already mentioned, go even through a course, a ground course, in order to get familiar with some thoughts of captaincy, which is a part of a pre-upgrading, or at least a benefit in a career as a step forward in between being first officer and captain. So you see, the mixed fleet gives us the opportunity to have different operational aspects, 2 different aircraft, different weights for takeoffs and landings, different destination. So from my perspective at least, I am really pleased to do that. Compared with the times in earlier years where you had to fly one type and with the restricted sectors of destination. So we'll see what future will bring, but for time being, it's a good solution for the company and for us as well.
I'll tell you 63 kilo contact Moncton Center now, 125.25 today.
2525, I will tell you 63 kilo heavy stop.
American 199, you are radar identified. You're clear direct Husky, balance the flight plan.
Direct Husky, American 199.
United 979, you are radar identified.
979.
United 979, you're clear direct Ebony, balance the flight plan.
Ebony, balance the flight plan, United 979. Gander UPS 219, level 350.
UPS 219, Gander Center, good day. And you're clear direct 46 north, 050 west.
Okay, clear direct to 46 north, 050 west. UPS 219er. Air Cactus 787, flight level 370.
Cactus 787, Gander Center, good day, squawk 0721, say requested level.
Moncton Center, good day, Swiss 16, flight level 380.
Swiss 16, Moncton Center, good morning.
We are now approaching Nova Scotia
On the nav display, you see the airport of Halifax, and at this point we are preparing ourselves for the approach into New York John F. Kennedy. JFK is one of the most busiest airports worldwide, and the infrastructure consists mainly of two pairs of runway, two pairs of parallel runway. The longest being runway 31 left, which was under construction for quite a long time now. For today, with northeasterly winds, we expect probably runway 04 right, but we have to wait until we get near to the airport until we exactly know what runway is planned. So our approach is started from the intersection Plim, so we're coming from the ocean, passing the position south of Boston towards Providence, and then joining the standard arrival route, which will lead us overhead Long Island, then towards the airport, and if runway 04 right is in use, we'll get radar vectors onto a right-hand downwind for runway 4 right. At this time of the day, we are quite early. Local time will be around 1:15. The arrival traffic should be normal. In the planning stage, we were informed that there might be a VIP movement, but our dispatch in New York didn't confirm this, so probably it will be an arrival without major delay. The weather, for time being, is reported to be nice. Just a few clouds, temperature in the lower 70s with northeasterly winds. So expecting an ILS approach, runway 04 right. After landing on runway 04 right, we'll probably leave the runway either at taxiway Fox 8 or at the end. And our terminal is a terminal 4, and we will be parking at gate 29 or 27 usually. A special issue here in JFK, as all over United States, is the responsibility on ground. So after landing, we will be controlled by the ground frequency, and as soon as we approach the tarmac area, we have to call ramp. That's, for time being, the preliminary mental briefing we are doing. When we know exactly what runway it is, we will redo the approach briefing for the specific runway. The runway itself, 04 right, is a 2,560 meters long runway, 60 meters wide. And we have a category 3B approach as the lowest approach possibility, as the lowest approach visibility here in JFK. No time-wise, we didn't see anything which would restrict directly our operation. So, Peter, it's time to do an approach briefing, huh?
All right.
According to the information we received from our dispatch, we have to expect runway 4 right.
Okay.
Okay. So the weather so far is fine, just scattered clouds, temperature in the lower 70s with northeasterly winds. The landing weight is already below 180 tons. I had a look at the required runway lengths for this weight. On sea level dry, it's around 1800 meters.
Roger.
I expect an ILS approach, runway 4 right, with a standard arrival part 1. Did you already cross-check the FMS?
Yes, sir.
Towards the chart, so I don't have to go into details here. With all the constraints, finally we expect radar vectors probably on a right-hand downwind for runway 04 right. Specials, as we saw in the NOTAM, the minimum sector altitude on the northwestern side of the airport has been raised to 3,000 feet.
All right.
Due to the newly constructed tower in the World Trade Center, which is growing. Over the sea, we have a minimum sector altitude of 2,000 feet. And this corresponds as well to the initial approach altitude or intermediate approach altitude. So heading 300 means another delaying action.
Checked.
We have an intercept with a 3 degrees glide path over DME 7.6 of the ILS. And an outer market check over EB at 1500 feet.
Roger.
Visibility is good, nevertheless, I set a MDA of 220.
Verified.
I do the approach with full flaps, minus speed A thrust.
Roger.
Runway 04 right, 2,560 meters long and 60 meters wide. The distance between threshold and taxiway Fox Bravo is approximately 2 miles, so with the required runway length of 1800 meters should be no problem to lift the runway at this taxiway.
Okay.
Okay.
And then it might be an immediate left or straight ahead into Foxtrot Bravo, left or left into Foxtrot Alpha.
Exact.
Might be.
Or
yeah,
like this.
It's hard to say.
Okay. I set reverse after landing. And start braking, if possible, below 80 knots.
Okay.
Okay. We taxi in with APU.
Yes.
So after a cool down time of 3 minutes, we can consider to shut down the right-hand engine.
Got it.
You know the procedure with ramp and ground?
Delta 163, clear direct Providence.
Zurich to Providence, Delta 163.
And who else checked on?
That's Swiss 16 Heavy, good day, with you level 380.
Swiss 16, turn back on for us shortly.
Roger, maintaining heading 300 for the time being, Swiss 16.
Okay, heading 300 is confirmed. You know the procedure with RAM and communication, huh?
Yes.
Okay. In case of a
Good morning, Lufthansa 416
missed approach,
level 380. 08.
we proceed straight ahead up to 800 feet and turn right, heading 100 to intercept radial 221 towards Delta Papa Kilo, climbing up to 4,000 feet.
That's correct.
I don't expect a quick return in JFK, so I consider a cleanup.
Okay.
With a speed around of 220.
Good.
Okay. Settings 4,000 for the missed approach.
Okay.
So I don't see any special hazard today. Performance-wise is good. Weather-wise is good. And the announced VIP movement seems to be no factor.
Yes.
So from this perspective, of course, we have quite a good deal of endurance now.
Yeah.
Okay, direct Providence.
Boston Center, X 1541, leveling 230.
Navigation.
Checked. And a nice view on Boston.
1541, maintain flight level 2.
It's right over Michel's house.
We are, huh?
Yeah, we are about now.
Delta 603, clear direct trade.
Direct trade, Delta 603.
Got it. What a beauty.
Okay, Shamrock 105, level 390, the radar heading 290.
Shamrock 105, roger. Delta 163, cross trade at maintain flight level 240 at 290 knots.
Cross trade at 240 at 290 knots, Delta 163.
Ice Air 613, contact Boston Center 135.8.
Boston 135.
So at this stage, I would like to do an announcement, huh?
Southwest 592, main.
Okay, flight level 240 starting descent now.
Check.
Boston, low speed at 175 heavy, flight 1360.
Speedbird 175, Boston Center, roger.
Boston Center, good afternoon, Swiss 16 Heavy. Passing level 308, descending level 240 to reach OH rate.
Swiss 16, Boston Center, roger. Swiss 16, cross Calverton at maintain 12000, maintain 280 knots. Al-Qaeda reduction, altimeter is 3023.
Roger, Swiss 16 Heavy. Cross and maintain Calverton at 12000, speed 280, altimeter 3023.
Thank you.
12000, 3023, huh?
Affirm.
I read 24,000 now.
Checked. Same reading.
And I have our vertical speed 1500, speed requested is 280.
Affirm.
So the speed is selected, activate approach phase please.
Approach phase is active.
Checked. Clearance limit is JFK. He didn't confirm the runway yet.
Negative. And according to the NOTAM, we can expect radar vectors
Emirates 204.
even before Rover.
Yahoo, Emirates 204.
Shamrock 105, procedure at Calverton.
Calverton, Shamrock 105.
Swiss 16, reduce speed to 250 knots, connect near to approach 125.7.
Reduce speed 250, 125.7, Swiss 16 Heavy, good day.
Trans 11.
Altitude star speed 250.
Checked.
New York approach, good day. Swiss 16 Heavy is over Calverton at 12,000, speed 250, and we have uniform.
Swiss 16 Heavy after Rober intersection, flight heading 250 vectors, ILS runway 4 right approach.
Roger, after Rover, flight heading 250, vectors for an ILS approach runway 4 right, Swiss 16 Heavy.
Delta 603 Heavy, descend maintain.
Okay, Rover heading 250 is Cockpit. 4 right is confirmed. The briefing is completed.
Yes, sir.
Swiss 16 Heavy, descend maintain 9,000, the altimeter 3022.
Leaving 12,000 for 9,000 and 3022 on the altimeter, Swiss 16 Heavy.
9,000 with vertical
Delta
speed.
163, descend maintain 5,000 if I didn't give it a
3022, 11,920.
Same reading and checked.
After the ILS presentation, frequency is correct. Inbound track as well. Identification missing. Huh?
Roger.
Have a new address?
Yes, sir. Victor is current. Wind 08013. Good visibility. Broken at 26. 22 degrees Celsius.
Shamrock 105 Heavy, descend maintain 9,000, altimeter 3022.
20 at the end.
3022, Shamrock 105.
22?
22.
Okay. Cockpit. Thank you. So we are passing Rover, so we're heading 250 as requested.
Roger.
JetBlue 51, descend maintain 13,000, altimeter 3022.
JetBlue 51 down to 13,000, leaving an 8.
And so the direct ZTAL with radio link 225.
Heavy, good afternoon.
Swiss 16 Heavy, descend maintain 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000, Swiss 16 Heavy.
Trans-Soviet 1111 Heavy, descend maintain 9,000, altimeter 3022.
Descend maintain 9,000, altimeter 3022, Trans-Soviet 1111.
So we have 1, 2. It's not easy to know how many track miles we got left.
That's correct.
I just continue to descend with 1,000 feet.
Yeah, they usually want to have us down there pretty quickly, so.
Swiss 16 Heavy, maintain 3,000, contact approach 127.4.
Maintain 3,000, 127.4, Swiss 16 Heavy, good day.
Take care. Trans-Soviet 1111 Heavy, descend.
Descend and maintain 4,000, altimeter 3022.
3022 down to 4,000, JetBlue 16.
New York, good day, Swiss 16 Heavy is out of 7,000, descending 3,000, heading 250.
Swiss 16 Heavy, New York approach, roger, good afternoon.
Swiss 16 Heavy, heading 270, contact approach 132.4.
Heading 270, 132.4, Swiss 16 Heavy, good day.
Heading 270.
Checked.
4 for 3,000, Swiss 101 Heavy.
Delta 163, reduce speed to 190.
190 knots, Delta 163.
New York, good day, Swiss 16 Heavy, maintaining 3,000.
Swiss 16 Heavy, New York approach, good afternoon, descend to 2,000, flighting 290.
Descend to 2,000, heading 290, Swiss 16 Heavy.
2,000 vertical speed, heading 290.
Checked. Approaching 2,000.
Check.
D-line 501 Heavy, turn right heading 020, and step 4 right, localizer, reduce speed to 160.
Heading 020, step localizer 4 right, speed 160 knots, line 51 Heavy.
Swiss flight 101 Heavy, turn right heading 350.
Right turn 350, Swiss
Speed
101
Flaps 1.
Delta 163, speed 170.
170 knots, Delta 163.
Swiss flight 101 Heavy, flighting 010, and step to 4 left, localizer, speed 190.
190, 010, and intercept 4 right, left localizer, roger.
Swiss 16 Heavy, heading 310.
Heading 310, Swiss 16 Heavy.
D-line 501 Heavy, 9
Heading
miles from Heavy,
310.
2,000, establish localizer, cut out from A4 right
Checked.
approach.
tail approach 04, Milan 51 heavy, take approach 04 right.
Swiss 16 heavy, reduce, I'm sorry, JetBlue 16 heavy, sorry about that. Speed 180, correction, 170, you're 8 miles from Matter, cleared ILS 4 left.
Flight 170, cleared ILS 4 left, JetBlue 16.
JetBlue 51, 4000. JetBlue 51, New York, good afternoon, flighting 330, descend to 3000.
330 heading down to 3000, JetBlue 51.
Swiss 16 heavy, turn right heading 020. 2 miles from heavy, maintain 2000 steps, localizer, cleared ILS 4 right approach.
Cleared for approach, huh?
Translated 1111 heavy,
Here we have a Zeppelin. 1,000 feet lower.
Right heading 330, translate 1111.
Approach is armed. Cat 3 dual.
Cat 3 dual.
Shamrock 105 heavy, reduce speed to 190.
Speed 190, Shamrock 105.
What a pity, huh? Visibility is not that good today.
Yep.
JetBlue 51, thanks for the help, sir. Speed 160 again. You can contact Kennedy Tower, 190.1. Good afternoon.
91 and speed 160, JetBlue 51, salam.
Swiss flight 101 heavy, New York. Swiss 16 heavy, contact Kennedy Tower, 190.1. Good afternoon.
Kennedy Tower, good day. Swiss 16 heavy, establish localizer 4 right.
Swiss 16 heavy, Kennedy Tower, 4 right, call to land, following a 757.
Clear to land, runway 4 right, roger, Swiss 16 heavy.
Okay, clear to land, follow Boeing 757.
Yes, sir.
All lights are on.
JetBlue 16, this left turn hotel, right on Bravo, monitor ground on point 9.
Ground point 9, JetBlue 16.
I have the runway in sight.
Roger. Same. Visual.
So glide pass intercept after
Zeta. Right Alpha if you're here.
Right Alpha, good morning.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Target A, Shamrock 105, ILS 04 left.
Shamrock 105 heavy, Kennedy Tower, 4 left, go to land, following me 190.
Clear to land, 4 left, 105.
Kennedy Tower, around 11, good afternoon. 2000, localizer 7 4 right. Cactus 1443, line up away 4 left, traffic 5 out.
Line up away, Cactus 1443.
D-line 501 heavy, this left turn, Foxtrot Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short of 4 left. Foxtrot Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short, 04 left, D-line 501 heavy.
Okay, glide path moving is correct.
We are
9 miles out.
Point of descent is at 7.6, that's correct.
16 heavy, traffic 12 o'clock, 5 miles, 1,000 feet, do you have them in sight?
I firm, Swiss 16 heavy.
Swiss 16 heavy, maintain visual separation, they're about 30 knots slower.
Roger, Wilco, Swiss 16 heavy.
SWQ 101, where do you park?
I'm going to Terminal 1.
That means we can slow down on convenience.
Left turn hotel, left on Alpha, monitor ground point 9.
Left hotel,
Glide slope start, gear down.
point 9.
Speed is managed and set 4,000 for the missed approach.
4,000 set.
Check.
Cactus 1443, wind 07010, runway 4 left, folks takeoff.
Takeoff, Cactus 1443.
Flaps full.
Flaps full.
Check.
And that was left on hotel, was that again left on Alpha for Swift 101?
It's the second left Alpha, just keep moving, sir, traffic's rolling.
There we go.
EB, out of market check. Visual.
Yes, sir. MTA 220, missed approach altitude 4,000 feet. Auto market check completed.
Manual.
Landing checks available.
Stabilized. Landing check. 3 greens.
Landing all green. Clear to land.
Triple 51, you have golf.
Affirm.
Airfly 100 heavy, no delay, cross 4 left at Foxtrot, turn right on Bravo.
Minimum.
Monitor ground 1219, no delay, traffic on a 2.5 mile final. Aeroflot 100
Slightly
heavy.
high on glide. Roger.
Hold short of 4 left, Aeroflot 100 heavy.
40,
Hold short 4 left,
20, retard.
Delta 603 heavy. Left turn here at Yankee, right on hotel, hold short of 4 left.
Spoilers.
Yankee, right on hotel, short of 4 left, Delta 603.
Reverse green.
Yep, 34 is with you.
Ship 134, 30 south on heavy Airbus 330, runway 4 left, foot land.
Turn left, right 4 left, Delta 134.
With 51, continue on Bravo, modified ground 49.
Kilo Bravo, mother ground, 51.
Beeline 501 heavy,
80
left on
knots.
Yankee, right on golf, hold short of 4 left.
Braking.
Left Yankee right, go, pull short 4 left, Beeline
Braking the next. Yes, sir.
Tower Speedbird 175 heavy.
Speedbird 175 heavy.
Yeah, with you at 14D on far right.
Speedbird 175 heavy, found heavy 767, 4 right, clear to land, wind 070 at 10.
Still on far right, Speedbird 175 heavy.
Okay.
16 heavy, Foxtrot Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short of 4 left.
Foxtrot Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short 4 left, Swiss 16 heavy.
So Foxtrot Alpha is next left, huh? Please
That's
confirm.
this one.
Okay.
We can follow the traffic.
Check after landing.
Yes, sir.
Approaching 3-1, right.
Roger.
So A330-300 is correct.
Right, exactly.
Slow down. Stop. Brake set.
Check 4 right.
400. Minimum 200. One 100. 50, 40, 20, retard.
knots.
Braking. Braking the next.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the procedure allows us to shut down one engine after landing in order to economize a little bit of taxiing fuel on the 340. We are even able to shut down 2 engines.
Right side is all clear.
So A330-300 is correct.
Right.
Slow down.
Peter, thank you very much for your cooperation. Yes, a pity, the visibility, huh? Could have been a little bit more spectacular. The approach itself was quite uneconomical, but then nicely stabilized at the end in the final approach. I got a tendency to be slightly above glide path.
Okay.
Then I corrected with increasing rate, and I tried to do the flare in order to get a good landing distance. I think I managed it. So the touchdown was normal, I would say, huh? Appropriate.
Go in the cockpit.
Hello?
Yes, hello. For information, the chocks are in place. And how's the aircraft technically?
Aircraft is fine.
Thank you.
May I release brakes? Okay, you already went. Did you see anything else particular, feedback? I'm really appreciating if you saw anything.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
It's absolutely okay.
Good. Thank you very much, Udo, for being with us and documenting all the flight process. And looking forward for tomorrow or even today on a bike tour around Manhattan.
See you there.
See you later.
See you on the bike.